We can't start Dr. Landers for looking at the puppy. Well, our veterinarian, Dr. Joe, is here to answer your pet questions this morning, and he's brought along Nanny. Is that her name? Did we change it?
Lilo. So there's a Nanny, there's a Lilo, there's a Stitch, and so Nanny got changed to Lilo because we had a Stitch. And so,
okay.
Yeah. So,
well,
but yeah, this is
Lilo.
Yes,
Adorable. She's beautiful.
This is a great little pup. She's pretty young still. She's about 7 weeks old or so, maybe a little bit. She's kind of, like you said, she's kind of growing and she's getting kind of in her skinny stage here. But she is a great little puppy. We don't know what she is. At first, we thought she's kind of boxer a couple weeks ago, and then her nose starts to grow. But she kind of has some markings.
She's got beautiful markings.
And we think, well, maybe you're kind of houndish, and then your legs are getting longer. And I tell people it's hard to know. But I think she'll be. You asked me about probably 50, 60. I mean, I don't think she's going to be 56 or 50 or 60 pounds.
Yeah. So she's going to be a pretty tall dog, but not too big. She's a beauty. I love her color.
This is a cute little pup. She's very calm. And,
well, enough about you,
yes,
Lilo. Let's get to Jack's questions. Well, Jack wants to know, is it safe to give my dog's bones, actual bones, to chew on, Jack?
You know, generally speaking, I try to avoid kind of real bones. And the reason is, because some of them aren't cooked and they can get E. coli or something. And some dogs don't chew them well and they'll get kind of stuck or whatever. I like raw hides. But the reality is, you got to watch them kind of closely, especially when they're young. Then you kind of figure out what they do with them. If these dogs kind of splinter and swallow them and have a problem with them, then you just stop and you kind of go on to something else.
And never give poultry bones. Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of these guys have that salmonella in them too. So there's a difference between cooked bones and non-cooked bones. And I mean, I always hate to mention that because then people say, well, if I cook them, it's okay. And I'm like, maybe not.
But poultry bones do splinter a lot, right?
Gosh,
yeah, they're terrible.
So they just kind of crack up, and I don't like them. But,
okay.
Anyways.
All right, Ronnie, he wants to know, is my cat's very shy. How can I get her out of her shell, so to speak?
Generally speaking, you need to find something that kind of diverts them and that they love to play with and kind of bridges, because really they are usually shy because in nature they're nomadic, and that's how they get, not get eaten is by being careful, okay? So you don't want to, so you want to do something that, a lot of times a feather toy or chasing something, even the shy ones will be, oh yeah, I want to play with that. And so a lot of times, people think they want to be held like this. They're not necessarily like dogs and people. They're not necessarily cuddly. They're more kind of independent. So you got to find that thing.
Yeah. And we gave Lilo some treats before we started here. So now she's looking. She's looking everywhere for the treats.
Do I have to pay for that if she?
I think you're okay. Volin will cover you. Okay, let's look at Barry. He wants to know, can I keep my kitten in a room instead of a kitten box?
So I think I was a little confused by this question, but usually a lot of times kittens are housed in a smaller area like a room or something, and then they learn to use a litter box good, because that may be what he's getting at. So some kittens don't use it so good, so I'll tell people, you want to put them in a smaller area with their litter box, like a big dog cage or something, and really quickly they'll get to it, and then you kind of graduate them to bigger parts of the house, especially if you think, gosh, they're going to tear up my furniture or something, you want to watch that, so you can do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, I'm reaching for Lilo because she is so beautiful. Okay, thank you, Dr. Landers, for answering the questions.
You betcha.
We are just so taken aback with her because she's beautiful. Can you see her face there, Volin? There, look at her. Oh, you even have puppy breath. That makes you 10 times cuter. That's right. Okay, if you can give her a home, please call Dr. Joe at
Heritage
Veterinary. There she is. Isn't she the sweetest thing? Oh, she's so beautiful. Well, if you're interested in adopting her, call Heritage Vet at the number. I think I've repeated myself now about 3 or 4 times because we're so taken with her. Kirsten, go ahead with weather.
All right, she is a beautiful